we'll get into the stories about Paul and or any questions that y'all have. I didn't know him as long as a lot of people, but from the time I did know him, which I guess was probably late 99, early 2000, then he became an agent. He became an agent with ZW, and we saw him all the time then. And I learned that there was not a better man in the wrestling business, and I ain't bullshitting. This is me, this is Cornette, this is anybody. There's not been a better, more decent man in the wrestling business than Paul Bearer, and I'd love to hear the name of somebody who's got a better one, because I don't think we'll hear one.
I haven't heard or read or seen anybody that's got a single bad word to say about him all week. In fact, when you read a lot of the tweets from wrestlers who talk fondly about knowing him and working with him in WWE, a lot of them call him Uncle Paul. Now, did you find that people called him that too?
I can see that. I was not an Uncle Paul guy. A lot of people called him Percy. Very few people called him Moody or Bill and or William. And I always called him Paul. He was always Paul Bearer to me, and I just refused to call him anything else. My son called him Percy. Well, I saw more Percy than Chris did. But Paul was what won me over. That gimmick was just undamn real.
He actually told me to call him Percy.
He told you to call him Percy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Most people did.
Yeah, I asked him. The first time I ever met him was at the Rising Sun Casino for an HWA show. It was right after they got their developmental deal. They were kind of testing out the waters down there. And they sent Booker T, Bobby Eaton, and Paul Bearer down to do an HWA show at the Rising Sun Casino. And I guess I'm going to start my story early because it kind of segues into what we call them.
Go right ahead.
She's got. So.
Shit.
Quite literally. So we're there, and I was in, I guess, like 7th or 8th grade at this point. I was very young, and I was just, I was hanging out. I was a fan more than anything else. And Paul took it upon himself while I was there. I didn't have a place to sit. They didn't give me tickets to the shows or anything, so I was just kind of wandering around. Paul flagged me over, and he had me sit with him, Percy. And he said, how are you? What's going on? Your Kenny's son.
You got a plastic bag.
He had me sit down beside him, and he kept talking to me all throughout the night. He said, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of this guy? What do you think of this guy? What do you think? And I couldn't get over the fact that Paul Bearer, this guy that I've been watching since I was a small child, actually cared what I thought. At one point I actually said, I don't know why you keep asking me these things. I'm nobody. I don't matter. I'm just a kid. It's nice of you, but why? And he told me, he said, well, you don't understand, but your opinion means more than mine. You're one of the fans. You're one of the people who would actually be paying to see these guys under normal circumstances. So what you think of them is much more important than what I think of them. My perspective isn't what it should be as a fan to be able to know who's going to be marketable. And that made me feel so important and so special that at 12 or what I was, that Paul Bearer had taken the time to tell me that I was important, that my opinion mattered. And that's the kind of guy that he was. That's who Percy Pringle was. He was the kind of guy who would take the time to really make you feel like you were important, even if you really probably necessarily weren't. He cared.
And how many people do you know in the business, especially to his stature, and that would make you feel more important than he is? Most people you meet in the business are striving on to make you feel lesser than they are.
Yeah.
And Paul never did that from the beginning. Are you guys still with us?
Oh, yes. The Prince was telling such a great story there. I couldn't interrupt or say a word otherwise. I just wanted to let him continue on explaining that. And it sums up everything that we've heard about Paul over these many years, is that he's always been very generous with his time and always made other people feel more important than he was. Whenever you heard an interview with Paul on anybody's website, he always tried to downplay his role. He'd say, I was just a guy that was lucky to be in the right place at the right time and come along and be friends with Mark Callis, and, it went from there. But he's so humble that you almost have to remind him, no, you did great things. You helped create a legendary character, and you became a legend in your own right.